years, really, to wait until I have to worry about this, but it does seem daunting.
Yeah, and it'll come around before you know it.
For us.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things is just keeping it simple, because the reality is, and I now know this because I've got 2 kids myself, half of the problem with kids not eating their lunches is because they don't have enough time. So every time that food comes back from my little boy's lunch, it'll be because he's only got 10 minutes and it's more fun to play. So often when you make things that are too fiddly or too picky, it's just not going to work. Not because they don't like it, because they haven't got enough time.
Wow. So 10 minutes for lunch?
Well, in some schools, yeah, it is. And they just don't get... You know, kids, we can kind of solve all these problems and come up with all these fancy ideas, but the reality is that a lot of things need to be eaten quickly with their hands. And what I always encourage people to do is think about do the best that you can with lunch, but maybe it's about also adapting the breakfast and the afternoon tea and the dinner to make up for where you can't get things working, because some kids will just, you know, a carrot will go back and forwards, an apple will go back and forwards 300 times. And yeah, the one rule in our house is whatever goes into your lunchbox will get eaten before you have any more food at home. So if you don't want to eat your carrots and your cucumber or your sandwich when you've gone to school, let me tell you, at 4 o'clock when you get home, you shall be having it. Lovely.
What about the banana that gets chucked in the bag and it sort of gets a bit squished and it starts...
getting a bit mushy.
Infusing everything with its banana flavour.
Yeah, so chopping fruit is a way to get it working. So what I do on a Sunday, I'd have a little bit of a session on a Sunday to try and get myself ready for the week.
Good on you.
So I will make a batch of one thing. So it might be some homemade baking that I've got there, some meatballs, falafels. I've got some little frittatas there. I'll just do one thing, or make that part of the Sunday dinner, and then kind of move forward and use that for the week. And then basically, to get the balance right, we need, you know, a lot of people struggle with the whole sandwich thing. So here are a couple of ideas for the starchy stuff. Breakfast cereal is actually quite good. Some of these kind of bite-sized cereals quite good for snacks. Bircher muesli, some kids will actually prefer to eat something like that with a spoon. And if you have a Bircher muesli at lunch, then just have eggs on toast for breakfast, or a smoothie or something like that for breakfast.
Sure. So what needs to go into, like, what are the main things? You've got your proteins, you've got your starch, as you just pointed out. What needs to go into a lunch box?
Yeah, so your healthy carbohydrates or some starchy food there for energy for the brain. Corn is cheap at the moment. If your kids will throw away sandwiches, some corn, it's got about as much protein as an egg in a cob, and there's carbohydrate in it. This is a seed loaf that I made. Takes 2 minutes to whisk it together, and that can be... My little boy had 2 slices of that when he got home from school yesterday. So, yeah, crackers also work quite well. Do beware with crackers. So those crackers over there, those 2 examples on there.
Not so good.
Not so great. They're basically like chips.
Okay.
Yeah, so those yellowy, snacky crackers that break apart and are quite like pastry are basically like chips. So a little bit of starch, you can make that into a sandwich wrap. Your protein, so edamame beans, my little boys quite like snacking on those. You don't even... You can
delicious.
You can put them in frozen, and then by lunchtime they're defrosted, keeps the lunchbox cool. Fruit, yes, definitely best chopped up. And some examples there. What I do with the yogurt, I put frozen berries in the bottom and the yogurt on the top, so it keeps it cold, rather than, like, if you get one with just a lid on it, guaranteed, yogurt is the bane of most people's lives. Lunchboxes, it goes everywhere. Yes. So something with a screwable lid. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, 90% of school bags come back with... Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, because that's really... Sorry, this isn't your interview, Hattie. But so buy a big thing of yoghurt, and then put it in a screw-top container yourself.
Yeah, and I do. I will often do that again on a Sunday, and just, you know, because in the mornings it's crazy. So doing something and dividing it over the week to save yourself time, and the frozen berries keeps it cold.
Yeah.
We've got to very quickly tell us your trick about this avocado, because it is not brown.
No.
And you cut that yesterday.
I cut that yesterday at 4 o'clock. Now, that's not going to work for everybody, but if you can get someone that's got a flat lunchbox, run it under ice-cold water, shake it off. I always use paper towel in the lunchbox as well, because they can kind of use it as a cloth, but it stops things going soggy. So every lunchbox that I pack for my boys has a piece of paper towel in somewhere.
Can you pack me a lunchbox every day?
Anytime.
Me too.
I can.
Thanks very much.
Yummy.
Erin,
so
good luck
much.
once again.